Hello Year 9 students, another exciting day where we get to do some maths. Today is the first lesson for chapter 5 and we're going to be talking about something we've done quite a bit of before, and that's length or perimeter today. So let's get straight into it. But before we do any questions, we just need to make sure we understand the units that we'll mainly focus on. So we'll be using mostly millimeters, centimeters, meters and kilometers, and we need to know how to convert between the units. And remember, if you're changing from something that is a small unit of measurement to something that is a larger unit of measurement, we're going to divide. If we're changing from a larger unit of measurement to a smaller one, we're going to multiply. And that's our little conversion table. So we need to remember that the perimeter is the distance around the outside of any closed shape. Sometimes you could call it SOS. It's the sum of all of the sides, adding up all the side lengths. So let's have a look at a few formulas that we might need. If we've got a square, there are 4 sides the same length. If we called the sides S, you could say that the perimeter is 4 lots of S, or S plus S plus S plus S. A rectangle, if you've got a length and a width, you've got 2 lengths and 2 widths to make the perimeter. So you could write 2L plus 2W, or you could write 2 bracket L plus W if you wanted to take out a common factor. Here's our first example. Find the perimeter of the following triangle. Well, to find the perimeter, we need to add the 3 sides together. If you add those 3 sides together, they will add up to 19.4 centimeters. Let's go to example 2. This question's a little bit trickier. We have to add all of the sides together. Now we know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 sides, but I'm only given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the side lengths. I don't know this length here. But what I do know is this. If the distance all of the way across is 9 meters, and the distance from there to there, or those two distances, would be 3.5 plus 4. They will add up to 7.5. I need another 1.5 so that the full distance across is 9. So I could write down the side lengths, noticing that I don't know that missing side length. Well, I didn't. I now know it's 1.5. So I can add up all of the lengths and my perimeter is 36 meters. Example 3. First thing we need to understand with this one is that there are quite a few sides that are missing. I don't know that side length. I don't know that side length. I know they're the same because they have the double dashes. I don't know that side length. But what I do know is this. All of the way across from there to there is 12 meters. Which means that that distance there and that distance there, when I add them together, will also be 12 meters. And when I look at this distance here, that's going to be the same as that distance and this distance. So we can actually use or find the perimeter of this shape without knowing some of the side lengths very easily. We know it's add up all of the sides. If I look at it, this side is 12. I know that these 2 sides here will also add to 12, even though I'm not sure how they're divided up. So there's my first 12 and my second 12. These 2 sides, the 5 and the 3, add to give 8. And that must also be 8. So there are my 2 8s. Add those up and you get 40 meters as your perimeter for this shape. Now, this one here is a little bit misleading. We actually don't need to use the 10. If this side's 15, this side's 15 because it's a parallelogram. If this side's 12, this side's 12. This 10 would only be used for finding area, not perimeter. So it's there to be a little bit tricky. So adding up the sides, there's 2 15s and 2 12s. And they will add up to 54 millimeters in this case. Now let's take it to a slightly more challenging level where I'm actually told what the perimeter is and I have to figure out one of the missing side lengths. Now this length and this length, because they both have the double dashes, are both x. So if the perimeter is the sum of the sides, that means x plus 6 must add up to give 22 because the perimeter is 22. So if the perimeter is 22, the sum of the sides, x and 6, x and x adds to give 2x, minus 6 to both sides. 22 take away 6 is 16. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 2, and 16 divided by 2 is 8, so x is 8. That's the process that you're going to follow through for this style of question. We look at example 6, similar concept. This side and this side are both 7 because they have double dashes, and I know the perimeter is 25, so all of these sides, the x plus the 9 plus the two sides of 7, have to add to give 25.5. 9 plus 7 adds to give 23, minus 23 to both sides, and you get your answer, x equals 2.5. Now this one here is one that sometimes students misunderstand. A rectangular paddock 90 metres by 38 metres needs to be fenced with 4 rows of wire. What's the total length of wire required to complete the fencing? This is just one way around. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen fences that sort of look like this. There's a post, there's a post, there's a post, and you'll have a strand of wire and another strand of wire and another strand of wire and another strand of wire. That's the thing we're going for here. So for this particular shape, let's not worry about the wire yet. Let's just figure out the perimeter of the rectangle. So the perimeter of the rectangle is adding up all the sides, which is the two 90s and the two 38s, and that adds up to 256 metres. So one strand of wire to go all the way around the paddock would be 256 metres. But I want 4 strands of wire. So the amount of wire is going to be 4 lots of 256 metres, or 1024 metres. Time for you to have some fun now. Enjoy.